or preparing to do something.
So, I'm fixing to go to the store is different from I will go. I had this moment the other day that completely stopped me in my tracks.
Oh, yeah.
I was rewatching an old movie. It was set in Deep South, and these two characters are on a porch. One turns to the other and just says, "I'm fixing to go to the store."
Ah, the famous phrase.
And my brain it kind of stalled. I knew what he meant, obviously. He was, about to leave.
Of course.
But if you actually stop and think about the words, fixing to, it sounds like it breaks every rule of standard English we were ever taught.
It does feel that way if you're not used to it.
And yet, millions of people, a huge chunk of the country, use it every single day and understand it perfectly.
And that disconnect you felt, that is the perfect way into what we're talking about today. Because this isn't just about a funny accent.
Right.
We are doing a deep dive into the vernacular and dialects of the American South.
We've got a whole stack of linguistic sources here, some history, and, well, basically a guide to communication in the region. So what's the mission for this deep dive?
The mission is really about decoding. We're going to break down Fixin to, for sure, but we want to go deeper.
Okay.
Explore the history, the grammar behind it, and then, practically unpack a glossary of expressions that can leave outsiders completely confused.
And I think we should say up front, this isn't just for people planning a road trip through Georgia.
Not at all. I mean, the American South is a huge economic hub. You've got Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Nashville.
So if you're doing business in the U.S., you're going to run into this dialect.
You are. And understanding these little nuances can be the difference between, connecting with someone or totally misreading the room. It's a form of cultural competence.
All right, let's jump in. Let's start with the one that tripped me up, Fixin to. What is actually happening there from a linguistic perspective?
So at its core, Fixin to is what linguists would call an aspect marker.
Okay, hang on. Aspect marker. Let's define that because that sounds pretty technical.
It is, but the concept is cool. So in grammar, tense tells you when past, present, future. Aspect tells you about the nature of the action itself. Is it completed? Is it ongoing?
I see.
Fixin to signals immediate intent. It basically means about to or preparing to do something.
So I'm fixing to go to the store is different from I will go to the store.
Yes, exactly. I will go is just some point in the future. Could be tomorrow. I'm fixin to go means the action is imminent. I'm grabbing my keys. I'm putting my shoes on. The process has begun.
And it's not just for people, right? I've heard things like...
No, for events, too. It's fixin to rain.
Right, which paints a picture. The sky is dark. The wind is picking up. It's happening now.
Precisely. And what's really fascinating is how language evolves. You see this modern, casual version on social media all the time. Finna, F-I-N-N-A.
I've seen finna everywhere. I honestly didn't connect it back to fixing to.
It's the exact same process that turned going to into gonna. Language just erodes for efficiency. Fixing to becomes finna.
But here's the thing that I think a lot of people get stuck on. They hear fixin to or finna, and they just hear, well, bad grammar.
That is the most common and, frankly, the most unfair assumption. There's this myth that regional dialects are just broken versions of standard English. We really need to get past that.
So it's not a mistake.
Not at all. It's a different system with its own rules. Fixin to follows a very strict structure. Subject, the verb to be, fixin to, and then the main verb.
I am fixing to call.
Perfectly structured. And it has deep historical roots. Linguists trace it back to British and Scottish dialects, specifically from settlers who came into Appalachia in the South centuries ago.
So it's not a new thing. It's an old thing that's been preserved.
Exactly. So to treat it as bad grammar is really quite disrespectful. And we're talking about a huge area here. The Fixin to belt covers Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, Tennessee, a massive part of the country.
That's a huge population to just dismiss as being incorrect.
It is. It's a legitimate linguistic heritage.
Okay, so that's fixin to.
Yeah.
But I want to get into the grammar that really messes with people's heads. Let's talk about the big one.
I know where you're going.
Y'all.
The South's most famous export.
Is it just the lazy contraction of you all?
I'd argue it's actually filling a huge gap in the English language. Think about it. We use you for one person, and we use you for 100 people. It's ambiguous.
Yeah, that's true.
Other languages don't do that.
Yeah.
Spanish has tu and usted. French has tu and vous. Y'all is the Southern solution to the second-person plural problem. It's functional.
Okay, that makes sense.
But And this is where it gets really interesting and where outsiders always miss the nuance, the difference between y'all and all y'all.
Y'all. See, to my ear, that sounds redundant.
It sounds that way, but it serves a very specific purpose. Y'all addresses a group collectively. Are y'all ready to order?
Okay.
But all y'all is emphatic. It means every single one of you, individually, without exception.
Can you give me a real-world example of that?
Sure. Imagine a teacher. She might say, y'all need to turn in your homework. That's a general announcement to the group.
Right.
But if some kids still haven't done it, she might stop, look around the room, and say, all y'all need to get your homework on my desk right now. She's now addressing every single student as an individual. Nobody gets to hide in the group.
That's surprisingly precise. I feel like I need an all y'all button in my email.
It would clarify things, wouldn't it?
It really would. Okay, now for the one that my brain just wants to autocorrect every time. The double modal.
Ah, yes. Modal stacking. A favorite among linguists.
So in standard English, you have helper verbs. Might, could, should, will. The rule is you only use one. You don't say, I might will go.
Right.
But in the South?
Modal stacking is completely fine. You'll hear things like, I might could help you with that.
I might could. So that just translates to I might be able to.
It does, but it's more than that. It's also a social strategy.
Social strategy. How so?
It's all about politeness and hedging. Saying, I can help you is very direct, on a strong commitment. I might help you can sound a little non-committal.
A bit flaky.
Yeah, but I might could softens the whole thing. It creates some polite distance. It's less presumptuous. It's like saying, there's a possibility I'd be able to help if things work out.
It lowers the stakes.
It does. It manages expectations while still being helpful. It's a very high-level social move packed into grammar.
And in a business setting, that's a huge tell. If someone says, could make that deadline, it's not a definite yes.
It's a cautious, conditional yes. It's a yellow light, not a green one.
Okay, let's pivot to vocabulary. Because some of these words look familiar, but they do not mean what you think they mean. And the big one our sources flag is carry.
Oh, this is a classic trap for newcomers.
So if you're in Atlanta and someone asks, can you carry me to the airport? What do?
You absolutely do not try to lift them.
Right, that would be an HR issue.
A big one. Carry, in this context, is an older usage meaning to drive or to transport someone. Can you carry me? Just means, can you give me a ride?
The car is doing the carrying.
The car is doing the carrying, exactly.
Okay, good to know. Now, let's circle back to fixin, but as a noun this time. Turkey, with all the fixins.
Now we're in the culinary world, and fixins just means all the side dishes, the accompaniments.
So the stuffing, the gravy, the mashed potatoes.
Or if you're talking about a burger, the fixins are the toppings. Lettuce, tomato, onion. It's the stuff that fixes or completes the meal.
I like that. The meal's incomplete without them.
It is.
What about holler? To me, that means yelling.
That's the literal meaning, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's also evolved into a social verb. Holler at me later.
Which just means get in touch.
Right. Call me, text me, send an email. It's about connection, not volume.
Then there's reckon. That one always feels a bit like a stereotype, like cowboy talk.
It can be, but it's still very common. It's just a substitute for think or suppose or guess. I reckon it's time to go.
Does it have a different feel than just, I think?
I'd say it feels a little more considered, a little less formal. It implies you've mulled it over a bit.
Okay, and for directions. Over yonder. How far away is yonder?
Yonder is beautifully vague and specific at the same time. It's not right here, but it's not miles away. It's usually a distance you can sort of see or just beyond a landmark.
It's down past the old oak tree over yonder.
Exactly. It's an intermediate distance.
I love that. But I have to bring up my favorite word from all of this research. Just the sound of it is perfect. Cattywampus.
It is a great word.
It sounds like a monster from a kid's book, but it's really about alignment.
Misalignment, actually. It means something is crooked or askew or just not lined up properly.
That picture on the wall is all cattywampus.
Or the whole project plan got knocked cattywampus. It's one of those words that sounds exactly like what it means. It just sounds disorderly.
I'm going to find a way to use cattywampus this week.
You should. It's very effective.
Okay, so we've done grammar, we've done vocabulary, we have to enter the danger zone now.
The cultural minefield.
The one phrase that everyone thinks they understand. Bless your heart.
The ultimate double-edged sword of Southern communication.
This is the trickiest one, isn't it?
Ah,
Because it sounds so nice.
and that's the whole point. Its meaning depends entirely on context and on tone.
So walk us through the two meanings.
Okay. Meaning A is genuine sympathy. It's completely real. If a friend tells you their car broke down and you say, "Oh, bless your heart," that is pure empathy.
Okay, that's the nice version, the safe version.
That's the safe version. But then there is meaning B, the polite insult.
This is the one you have to watch out for.
This is it. It's a judgment on someone's intelligence or competence wrapped in a veneer of kindness.
Okay, give me a scenario.
Someone tries to assemble a piece of furniture and they put the legs on backwards and the whole thing is, well, cattywampus. A Southern observer might watch them and say, well, he tried his best, bless his heart. The bless his heart is doing all the work. It's saying, he's not very bright, is he? Without having to say the mean part out loud.
So you really have to listen for the tone.
You do. If you do something clumsy and someone says it, they're probably being nice. If you say something foolish and someone says it,
It means you should probably stop talking.
you should probably stop talking, yes.
Okay, so let's zoom out to the so what. Why does all of this matter?
I think it matters for two big reasons. The first one is purely professional.
Right.
The South is an economic powerhouse. We mentioned all those big cities. You will be on calls with people from this region. You will have clients there.
And you need to understand what they're actually saying.
You do. If you hear, I might could get you that report, and you push back for a firm yes because you think they're being flaky, you might be the one who's being rude in that context.
You're not speaking their language, so to speak.
Exactly. And the second reason is just about cultural respect. American English isn't one single thing. Recognizing and understanding these differences stops us from falling into stereotypes.
Which leads to a really important point about etiquette. What do you do with this information?
Right. The temptation, once you learn y'all or fixin' too, is to try and use it.
To try and fit in. I'm fixing to go to the store, y'all.
Please don't do that.
So rule one is don't fake it.
Do not force it. Unless you live there for years and it becomes natural, it can sound like you're mocking people.
It's like you're putting on a costume.
Exactly. Understanding is way better than mimicking. And never, ever mock the accent or correct the grammar.
Because, as we've established, it's not incorrect. It's just a different set of rules.
The rules of their house. You follow them when you're there.
This has been such a good reminder that language is just.
Mm.
It's so much more than a textbook. It's alive, it's historical, it's human.
It has texture. These phrases paint a picture of a place and a culture.
Well, I'm definitely going to be on high alert the next time I hear someone say, bless your heart. I'll be analyzing tone immediately.
A very wise plan.
Yeah.
And if I could leave you and our listener with one final thought, we talked about how bless your heart can do two things at once. It can show sympathy, or it can deliver a gentle critique.
A paradox in 3 words.
It is. And my question for you to think about is, what phrases in your own life do that kind of heavy lifting? In your own language, or even just in your family or your workplace?
Like saying, with all due respect.
With all due respect, which often means, I'm about to disrespect you completely, or that's an interesting idea.
Which means, that is a terrible idea.
Exactly. We all have these codes, and that's where the real power and the real fun of language is, not just in the dictionary, but in what's unsaid between people.
That's a great thought. A little bit of linguistic homework for everyone. Thank you so much for walking us through this. This has been a fantastic deep dive.
My pleasure.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.